Number 13, thanks very much. We are going to, you're going to hear a word and you just point to the picture, but there's a practice, and for each one of these, I'm going to keep flipping the book because I have a new picture. This practice will be one of these words that sound very similar. This is practice, and then we'll really go. Ready?
Show me bed.
Right, no problem. And then for all of these, if my fingers work, which sometimes doesn't happen for me, these are the rest of the test. We'll do about 5 of these practice or testing.
Show me jar.
Do you see how they're trying to trick us? Jar, star, good job.
Show me fox.
Awesome. And now gets a little harder. They keep getting harder. This time you're going to hear 2 words, and you have to, I'm going to the next subtest. You have to just point to the picture that I say. That was 1 critical element. Now we're doing 2 critical elements. You point to what you hear. Same thing. I'll keep flipping the page for each one. But they're trying to trick us, so keep listening. Number 1, subtest 14.
Show me dirty shoe.
Dirty shoe, not a dirty boot. Take a look.
Show me blue starfish.
Pretty choice. Let's go to subtest 15, and you're going to hear 3 sentences. And I'm going to point my fingers for 1, 2, 3. Anyway, then I'm just going to then show you the pictures, and you have to remember what was first, what happened next or second, and what happened last. So all you get to see right now is that, where you hear the story or 3 sentences. Here's practice sequencing.
The family went to the zoo. They saw elephants and tigers. The family went on the zoo train.
And then there's nothing auditory. You just flip in administration and ask, what happened first? Family went to the, where? Where'd they go?
Zoo.
They did go to the zoo. What happened next at the zoo?
They saw the elephants and tigers.
I'm glad you remembered that. And what happened last?
They went on the zoo train.
There was a zoo train. For 16, you're going to hear a story. But after the story, you have to listen real super careful. After the story, there are questions. And the first story, I'll tell you, it's practice. It's about an animal. Ready for the story? Let's see, because there's stuff that I didn't even know about this animal. Here is the practice story.
All skunks are black and white, but some are striped and some are spotted. They are not harmful unless they become frightened. When they are frightened, they usually stomp their feet before spraying. The spray smells horrible. Skunks love to eat turtle eggs.
Who knew? First question, wait for the question even though you're ready to guess.
What animal was the story about?
A skunk.
About a skunk. And I know you'll guess, but wait for the question.
What 2 colors are this animal?
Black and white.
That's good, but if you didn't pick skunk, you wouldn't have gotten that one. And this even has, if I can do the picture, somebody's legs. Listen.
What does a skunk do before it sprays?
Stomps.
Did you know that? Never heard that one before. And there's emojis. Listen to this with the word printed.
How does a skunk feel before spraying?
Frightened.
Very frightened. And the last one. Come on. Here it goes.
Skunks love to eat what kind of eggs?
Turtle egg.
Turtle eggs. I was going to guess fish, but that is not the answer. Good job. And then before 3 sentences, and I'll do the fingers, but you will be asked to point to the picture of what happened first, what happened next, what happened last. But during the story, you'll be hearing noise in the background. Ignore the noise and focus on the 3 sentences that I tell you. And ignore the noise, listen for the story that will point out.
Daddy baked a chocolate cake. He then put icing or frosting on the cake. The young girl licked the bowl and spoon.
So there was a little noise, but you probably did just fine. What happened first?
The daddy baked the cake.
Daddy baked the cake. What happened next?
The daddy put some frosting on.
Frosting on the cake. And what happened last?
The girl licked the spoon in the bowl.
Right. For 18, where this time, a little harder, you're going to hear a whole story and you're going to get questions following. You're going to answer questions. But during this story, there's a little more noise in the background. Ignore the noise and focus on the story. This one, I know I have to really listen to make sure I get it. You're doing great. First, whoops, want to go back to the first story. And here it is, ignore the noise.
More than 70 different species of squirrels have been identified throughout the world. In the United States, the most common type is the gray squirrel. One unique type is the flying squirrel, which is able to glide long distances and sail through the air. One forest animal related to the squirrel is the chipmunk, which is actually a ground squirrel.
I didn't know that till the story came. Here's question number 1, even with noise.
What animal was the story about?
Story was about
Squirrels.
squirrels is correct. And so the questions are, of course, in quiet. Here's number 2.
How many different species of squirrels have been identified?
7.
Excellent job. Good for you. I did not know that one. Listen.
What color is most common for the majority of these animals?
Good.
Most of them are gray. And did you know where I teach? At Worcester? Pardon me, we have black squirrels. It's really cool. But they do come in different colors, but gray is the common one. And last 2 questions.
Which squirrel can glide long distances?
The flying squirrel.
A flying squirrel. Well, actually, you should pick. Which one were you pointing? You said flying squirrel. Where is it?
Right here.
Okay, I didn't want to give it away. And this one, I have a funny story to tell you, and we're almost done. Finished. Come on, number 5.
What animal is really a ground squirrel?
Ground squirrel.
Right, one of these animals is really also called a ground squirrel.
Chipmunk.
You are correct. My last thing we're going to do, this is the only thing that I bet you might have a little more trouble, but you're great. Listen to this story and point to the picture after the story's over about the story. And you're going to answer questions. During the story, you'll be hearing even more noise in the background. Ignore the noise and listen to the story. Last 5 things to do. 5 questions. Story number 1. Really loud.
A chicken egg takes 21 days to hatch. The shell is quite hard in texture and is kept in a soft nest to help keep it safe. An egg will only hatch if the surrounding air is warm and moist, about 100 degrees. A hen sits over the egg to keep the shell warm. Inside the egg is the yolk, which is food for the growing
pretty tough, right? But you can guess and do your best. First question, being quiet, is...
What animal was this story about?
Chicken.
Awesome. Good thing you know the main story animal. Great. Listen.
How many days does it take for a chick egg to hatch?
14.
Good try. I had no idea. Listen.
On what does the hen put the egg?
Hay.
Which one? Good. And that might be kind of hay, and maybe they use hay for the nest. This one's an interesting question. Listen.
What season might have the best temperatures for a chick to be born?
Spring.
Definitely a great season. And the last one.
With what does a baby chick use to help break the egg shell?
It's beak.
Perfect.